You didn't remember the last time you had gone home before midnight. The city lights blurred through the glass windows of the 21st floor, casting long shadows across your half finished mock ups. Coffee cups had long gone cold, your tablet battery was flashing red, and your fingers were stiff from drawing revisions for the third time today. Still, you kept going. This project, it was the biggest deal your company had signed in years, a full-scale international campaign with high-end European clients, product launches across multiple countries, and you, John Corporation's youngest lead designer, were in charge of making it all look perfect. And you were doing it, somehow, slowly, despite everything falling apart around you, but your hands trembled as you finalized the banner layout, not because of the design, because of him. Your phone buzzed next to you, another message from your mother. Did he propose yet? We are so excited. I already told the relatives. You stared at it for a long minute, then slowly your eyes shifted to the corner of your desk where the tiny silver ring box still lay unopened. You were supposed to get engaged this week after 6 years together, but instead, 2 days ago. It was a quiet evening, your living room dim with only the yellow warmth of the lamp beside the couch. You had just returned from another 10-hour shift and he was already there, your boyfriend, your almost fiancé. He stood by the window, hands tucked into his pockets, looking like a man trying to rehearse something in his head. You smiled gently, setting your bag down. Hey, you are early. He didn't smile back. You felt the tension in the air before he even opened his mouth. Can we talk? Your heart sank. Yeah, of course. You walked toward the couch, but he didn't sit. He stayed standing. I've been thinking. He began, not meeting your eyes. About us, about everything. You stiffened. Okay. He swallowed. I don't think this is working anymore. Silence followed his words, cold, dead silence. You blinked. What? This relationship. It's just not what I imagine anymore, Ryan. I think we have outgrown each other. You stare at him. Outgrown? I mean, you're always busy. Your work takes up all your time, and I just feel like I'm not a priority anymore. You stood up suddenly, breathless. I told you this project was important. I told you I was under pressure. That once this is over, he cut in. But it's never going to be over. First, it was the Tokyo project, then New York, now this. You don't have time for me. I've been building this career from scratch for 6 years. You snapped, and I still made time for you. For us, I thought we were working together towards something. He looked away. I don't want to be second anymore. You took a slow step back, voice low. You said you wanted to marry me. I did. And now? His silence said everything. Your throat tightened. My parents already knew. They were expecting you to come over this week with the ring. I'm sorry. He whispered. You let out a shaky laugh. That's all? After 6 years, you're sorry? He still wouldn't meet your eyes. You'll find someone better, someone who understands your world. You were trembling now. Don't you dare act like this is some noble decision. You choose to leave. I just don't feel the same anymore, he said quietly. That broke something inside you. You picked up your bag again, walking toward the door, not to leave, but just to breathe. You didn't just outgrow me. You said, your voice was cracking, you gave up. And just like that, it was over. Ryan, you snapped back to reality as your co-worker Mira waved her hand in front of your face again. You okay? You have been staring at that layout for 10 minutes. You cleared your throat, blinking the memories away. Yeah, just thinking about the typography. She gave you a look. You sure you are okay? You have looked rough lately. Didn't sleep. Again? You didn't answer. Your phone buzzed on the desk. This time it was from your mom. Don't forget to talk to him tonight about the engagement. We want to make plans soon. You stare at it and turn your phone face down. Across the office, the elevator doors opened with a low chime. Everyone seemed to hold their breath the moment he walked out. John Jungkook, CEO, your boss, and the only person in this building who could make a grown man shrink into his chair with a single look. He wore a black tailored suit, crisp shirt, no tie, hair perfectly styled, dark eyes as unreadable as ever. He walked past desks like a shadow, papers in hand, and you saw the temperature in the room dropped by 10 degrees the second he passed. He didn't acknowledge you, he never really did. Until recently, you noticed it, the way he would hover just a little longer when you spoke during meetings, the way he once circled something on your presentation with a glint in his eyes and muttered, finally something useful. It wasn't praise, not really, but from Jungkook, it was close enough. Mira whispered beside you, I don't know how you haven't quit yet. You gave her a tired smile. Maybe I'm just too stubborn. And maybe that was true, or maybe this project was the only thing left holding you together, but you didn't know then how close you were to breaking. You stood in front of the mirror, tying your hair into a neat, low bun, trying to look composed, like everything was fine, but nothing was. Not anymore. You reached for your earrings, but your fingers paused midway as you stared at your reflection. You had to tell them you couldn't pretend any longer. Picking up your phone, you dialed the number, heart pounding in your chest. It rang only twice before your mother's voice answered, cheery and expectant. Ryan, I was just about to message you. Your dad wants to know if Saturday evening works to meet his parents officially. Mom, your voice cracked. You swallowed and forced yourself to breathe. We we broke up. There was a beat of silence. What? He ended it 2 nights ago, said he doesn't feel the same anymore. You closed your eyes as the words trembled out. I'm sorry for disappointing you. I know you already told everyone. I know you were happy, but I can't force someone to stay. Your mother went quiet, then came the small heartbroken whisper. Oh, sweetheart. You turn your face away from the mirror, blinking quickly to stop your tears. I know this isn't what you wanted to hear. I didn't want to lie. We are not disappointed in you, Ian. We are just hurting because you are. Please stay strong. That only made your throat tighten more. But you didn't cry. You couldn't afford to. Not today. You walked into the office an hour later, shoulders squared, coffee in hand, heart numb. Mira nearly jogged toward you the second you stepped out of the elevator. There you are. There's an urgent meeting in 20. Apparently, it's chaos in the conference room. What happened? It's a mess. You'll get to know. You nodded stiffly. I'll drop my stuff in my office first. As you both made your way down the hallway, Mira kept glancing sideways at you. Are you okay? You look like you have been through hell. You let out a small sigh, unlocking your door. He broke up with me. Mira froze in the doorway. What, Min? You walked in and set your bag down without looking at her. 2 nights ago. Said he didn't feel the same anymore. But 6 years. She whispered, stepping in. Ryan, you guys were perfect. He was supposed to propose. Well, he didn't. You grabbed the file from your desk, clutching it tighter than you needed to. I'm not going to cry about it. It was his decision. I'm not begging someone to love me back. Mira walked closer, unsure whether to hug you or curse your ex's name. I still can't believe it. That coward. You managed a tired smile. Let's go. We are late. As you made your way toward the main boardroom, Mira filled you in. The designs are ready, most of the product packaging has been finalized, and the mock ups were sent to the European reps. But the real issue now is transport. You glanced sideways. Still, they had options, but none of them are trustworthy enough for such a high profile shipment. The CEO's been looking into it himself now. No one is saying it out loud, but everyone is stressed because if the goods don't move in time, we could lose the Spain deal entirely. You nodded, your jaw tight. The pressure was crushing already, but the moment you stepped into the corridor leading to the main office area, you felt it, tension, palpable, like a storm cloud hanging low. The receptionist was on two phones at once. Namjoon and Sejin were whispering aggressively. In the corner, Gina from product looked like she hadn't slept in days. Everyone was on edge. You stepped into Jungkook's office, knocking briefly on the glass. He didn't look up. Come in. You walked in with purpose, file in hand. Sir, I have prepared the updated draft for the final ad concept. I've included alternate color schemes and region based tagline placements. Jungkook looked up, and for a second, just a second, you saw something in his expression loosen. Maybe relief. He flipped through the pages in silence. This is good, he muttered, exactly what I needed. You hesitated, then spoke. Sir, if I may, there's a shipping company I have worked with before, extremely reliable, ranked number one for 5 consecutive years. I know their team. If you would like, I can coordinate. Jungkook's jaw immediately tightened. You didn't notice it at first. You kept going. Their CEO is Mr. Choi, and no. His tone was final. You blinked. Sorry? I said no. We won't work with them. You tilted your head confused. But sir, they are the best in the game. I have personally worked with their logistics team in Seoul and Singapore. Flawless service. I said no. He repeated, his voice sharper now. Our company has a standing dispute with theirs. It's against policy. You tried to reason calmly, but policies can be re evaluated, right? I mean, if there's a way to solve the YN, you pressed on. We can't afford to lose this client over personal grudges. If there's history, maybe it can be addressed now. I can talk to YN. He snapped louder, but you didn't stop. You were desperate. This project can only earn you your desired position in the company. Sir, don't you understand? When I say no means no? His voice thundered through the office like a gunshot. There was pin drop silence outside the glass walls. Everyone froze. Conversations halted. Every eye turned toward you. The team leaders, the assistants, even the interns. Your heart stopped. Jungkook's eyes burned into you, cold and furious, his chest rising as if he was holding back more. You took a slow breath and stepped back, voice quiet but steady. Understood, sir. You didn't tremble, you didn't cry, you just couldn't meet his eyes. You picked up your file and walked out of the office with your head held high. Mira met you outside, wide eyed. Fine, I'm fine. Let's go, we still have work to do. But inside, something cracked. You had already lost enough this week, and now you were beginning to wonder if your job would be the next. The tension from the morning meeting still lingered like smoke in the air. After Jungkook's outburst, everyone had gone back to work with lowered heads and hushed voices, but whispers had already spread across departments. Did you see how he shouted at her? She didn't even flinch, just walked out. She's the only one who talks back to him. Is she okay? You ignored it all. You had work to do, no time to sulk, no room for hurt. So, you kept your head down, your pen moving, and your eyes dry. At exactly 4:38 p.m., you stepped out to the break corner on the 18th floor where the coffee machine whirled in the background, and no one dared come during this hour because it was technically not break time. You needed a moment, not to cry, just to breathe. You poured yourself a black coffee, the strongest kind, and pulled out your phone. There were three missed calls from your mother. You dialed back. Jungkook had been walking past the corridor outside, not looking for you, just trying to walk off the strange weight that had settled on his chest since this morning. When he heard your voice, soft, raw, real, he paused. He was going to walk away. He should have walked away, but something made him stop. Mom, I know you are worried. I know it hurts. You said, your voice quiet as the steam rose from your cup. But I'm telling you, it's not the end of the world. There was a pause. The small hum of your mother's voice echoed faintly from the speaker. You smiled gently. I'll be okay. So, what if I was with him for 6 years? So, what if we thought we would grow old together? Life changes. Jungkook's brows furrowed as he leaned slightly against the wall. Out of sight, he hadn't meant to eavesdrop, but the words 6 years gripped him. You sipped your coffee. I'm not broken, Mom. Just disappointed. I thought I knew him, but if he could walk away that easily, then maybe I didn't. And I would rather be alone than beg someone to stay. Another pause. This time your voice turned even softer. No, I don't hate him. I just don't want him back. It was his choice, and now I have mine. You laughed a little, bitter but brave. If I never find someone else, so be it. I know how to live with myself. I like who I am. And if I ever get lonely, you paused. I'll just design my dream house, fill it with books, and adopt four cats. Your mother's voice cracked again, trying to say something. You smiled again, a real one this time. Don't cry, Mom. Please don't cry. I'm not crying. You shouldn't either. Jungkook stood frozen. He hadn't moved, hadn't breathed, even. He had shouted at you that morning in front of everyone, shutting you down, thinking you were just being headstrong. But now he understood. You weren't being stubborn, you were just holding it together. Barely, and no one had seen it, no one had asked. He hadn't asked. He had seen you as one thing: dependable, sharp, professional, the one who always had ideas, always had solutions. But now he saw something else: a person who was hurting silently and still showed up with her work done and her spine straight. You ended the call gently and slid the phone back into your coat pocket. Then you took a deep breath and turned to walk back inside. That's when Jungkook realized he needed to move before you saw him, but it was too late. You stopped short as your eyes landed on him just a few feet away, half leaning against the wall, gaze unreadable. Your smile faded. Sir? He straightened up slowly. I was just passing by. You didn't believe that for a second. You gave a polite nod. The final designs for the Madrid billboard are ready. I'll have them on your desk in 20 minutes. He didn't answer, not right away. His eyes lingered on you for a moment longer than usual. There was a flicker of something there, something that looked a little like guilt. Take your time, he said quietly, and Vian. You paused. Yes, sir. His voice dropped lower. About this morning. You waited, but he didn't finish. He just looked at you the way someone looked at a painting they hadn't understood at first, slowly, deeply, respectfully. You nodded once, noted, and you walked away. In his office, Jungkook sat down at his desk later, the coffee you had handed him hours ago still warm beside him. He picked up the design file you had left. Everything was perfect: crisp lines, balanced fonts, impeccable color schemes. But he couldn't stop hearing your voice. I would rather be alone than beg someone to stay. For the first time in years, the co CEO didn't feel in control, and for reasons he couldn't explain yet, he hated it.